What's up everyone, Adam from FWCI Collector's Edition, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the Marvel Legends figures that I bought in the year of 2025. So far, we've got like a month left, but pretty close. Now if you love Marvel Legends and you want to win yourself Psylocke and some other guy, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment with the hashtag #GiveMePsylocke, and when I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty close, I will be giving this set away. So hashtag #GiveMePsylocke in the comments, make sure you subscribe. When we hit 1,000, someone's winning it. Hashtag #GiveMePsylocke. And just like with Thanos, you'll probably make half of this set disappear. But Thanos and Psylocke are in the countdown, so let's just jump into it, because I purchased 36, actually it's more than that, because there's a wave that I put in all one entrance, so what would that be? It'd be about 40 Marvel Legends in a year. That's a pretty solid habit, I would say. And all the photos that you see are pictures that I've taken using my new camera that I've been experimenting with and enjoying figure photography. So if you like figure photography, that's another reason to subscribe. So let's kick off the countdown with number 36, Sentry from the MCU. This was in the 2-pack with, what's his name, US Agent. Just a very boring figure. It's pretty accurate to what the movie depicted him as, but it makes the bottom of my list. Not something I was horribly disappointed with, but nothing special. Number 35 is the Civilian Wolverine from the X-Men 97 wave. I mean, again, a perfectly fine figure. I didn't really buy any this year that I was extremely disappointed with. There are some that should probably be higher on the list, and we'll talk about those. But the Civilian Wolverine, I got it, I didn't need it, and whatever. Number 34 is the Silver Samurai from the Gamerverse. It's just a bit of a boring figure. Well, not boring, just like single jointed arms, pinned legs, no extra hands, no extra heads or anything like that. It looks good, but nothing special. Number 33 is Sunspot from the X-Men 97 wave. You know, again, an adequate figure, and we will get a better version of that one day down the track. I can't really fault the figure in any way, but it's not an overly interesting design. Number 32 is Emma Frost from the X-Men 97 wave. I've seen this peg warming everywhere, but I kind of like this figure. I like it more than the last Emma Frost that we had, but I really like the head scan that we got on it. I think that's great for kit bashing and things like that. So Emma Frost comes in at number 32. Number 31 is from the X-Men 97 wave, Morph. Again, it's adequate. It's just not a figure that has any sort of visual standing out quality, and it's not a character that I'm overly emotionally connected to. I was really into Morph in the old series, and I did like what they did with Morph in the cartoon, the new one, but in terms of a figure, he's pretty basic. Number 30 is the Red Guardian from the MCU. You know, I liked it. I don't think he came with a shield. That's the one thing that he was missing. I had to repurpose my old Red Guardian shield, but I like the head scan on it, and it's a pretty good figure, but again, nothing that really stands out. There's only so much you can do with, you know, the source material, especially in the MCU. Number 29 is Thanos from the Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack. He's perfectly okay. Again, no real complaints about it. It's just a bit of a boring figure in terms of articulation. He looks great. I like that we've got the extra one hand with the finger snap. But, you know, there were some really good figures that came out this year. So Thanos is number 29. Number 28 is the Punisher MCU figure. I got this one recently, and again, the MCU figures, you can only do so much with them, and it looks pretty good. Maybe the hair and the head is a little bit high when you add them all together, but I like getting these, you know, really popular comic characters that are now in the MCU and making just random Marvel MCU mashups, and Punisher is certainly in his own sort of world, and it's great to bring him onto a shelf. Number 27 is Yelena from the MCU. This is the Yelena and what was it, Red Guardian 2-pack. I like that they gave it all new tooling, and it's a pretty good figure. I just wish they gave us better face scans for the MCU characters. It looks like the actor stands there with their face at a complete sort of like neutral position. They probably get it scanned for like makeup reasons and whatever else, and I feel like that's what Hasbro gets given, so everybody's just got this like dead expression on their face. But the figure itself is quite good. And sticking with the Thunderbolts, number 6 is the US Agent Thunderbolts figure. Really like that one. I'm glad we got his shitty homemade shield. I thought there was going to be an unmasked head that came with that. It didn't come with many accessories at all, to be honest. Neither did Sentry. So that kind of took it down a little bit, but I like the updated features that we got on that figure, and I love that character. So he comes in at number 26. Number 25. Maximum Hulk. There is a Maximum Edition figure at 25 on this list. Now, I haven't done the review of the Maximum Hulk yet because I just moved house and I haven't had a chance to do it. But it is not good. The color is not great. The heads are all bad. I like the idea of having the soft chest area and the clap and all that, but it just doesn't really, I don't know, it just doesn't sit well, and the Hulk figures have got a weird tendency to get kind of like loose and wobbly because it's so big and top heavy, and it has all of those problems in this figure, as well as, you know, just other articulation limitations that you wouldn't expect. The accessory pieces that came with it, I mean, the hands, the clapping, you know, swoosh effect that they've got, they're okay. The explosion, that sucks. We got the little, the missile, that's good. We've got a missile that comes apart. That's about the only thing that you can say positive about the Maximum Series Hulk. So, number 25 on the list for you, you expensive piece of shit. Number 24 is the Black Widow from the comic book wave. This is on the new Black Widow body with all the extra articulation. I really like this color. I really like the head scan on it. There's something very classic about the way this one looks. I would probably put this as my go-to Black Widow. I've got the original one, the 50th anniversary or whatever it was, but this is the figure that I would probably go to if I was going to do like an Avengers display. Number 23 is the entire Fantastic Four MCU wave. I couldn't really separate any of these. I don't think any of them really were that much better, other than maybe the Silver Surfer. That's perhaps the best of the wave in my opinion. But it was a pretty okay wave. I like that they've got no pins. I like that the uniforms match, the color scheme and everything on that. But again, the MCU figures, there's only so much you can do with them. And I feel like the Fantastic Four wave struggled a little bit with that, just because they're trying to meet all those MCU specifications and like scaling and stuff like that. So I like those figures. They certainly look great as a team, but they were not like a top tier figure for 2025. With that being said, go check out Can I Make It? Because he did a really good Fantastic Four display using those figures, and I'm a big fan of his work. Can he make it? Yes, he can. Number 22 is the black suit Spider-Man Tobey Maguire figure. It looks great, and you know, you've got all your MCU Spider-Man articulation, which again, I'm not a huge fan of. They really seem to struggle with getting these movie characters and giving them good, proper articulation. That's about as close as you can get. I like that we got the Bully Maguire head and the extra Venom effect and everything like that. But it would have been nice for that to come with a bit more than what we got. I don't know what else you could add, but it just felt a little bit overpriced and under accessorized. Number 21 is Daredevil from the comic book wave. This is the version in the black tracksuit. I love this figure. It looks very, very sleek. It looks very, very plain. I love the fact that it looks like just a guy in a hoodie sort of thing. You can do a little bit of head swapping on it as well, which is very handy. But with the sticks that you get with it and the Daredevil head, it really, really pops on its own. I thought I would immediately want to repurpose it, but I think it looks pretty goddamn good. So Daredevil from the comic book wave is number 21. Number 20 is Omega Red from the Gamerverse wave. This is in the 2-pack with War Machine. I love this figure. I wish it was a little bit more pinless, and it does suffer from some of the typical Marvel Legend big boy figure problems, but they did a pretty good job of balancing those things out. The extra accessories were a lot of fun. He's a very interesting character, but yeah, it does feel like an older figure, to me anyway. Number 19 is Electro from the No Way Home Marvel Legends wave. Yeah, interesting figure. Obviously, there's the whole elephant in the room with Jamie Foxx and the likeness and all that. I like the effect pieces that they gave us with it, and I like the other effect pieces that are sort of on the figure as well. I think he looks good on a display, but in terms of an actual action figure, again, there's nothing really that special about these MCU figures compared to what we get with a lot of the comic book characters. But it was nice to get him, and he was actually quite cheap on clearance, so not a huge toll on the old wallet. Number 18, X-Men 97, Cable. Great figure, one of my favorite from the wave, and I really think that the kind of muted out matte color scheme that they're using for these X-Men 97 figures is giving them a fairly unique look, and I think that's really prominent with the Cable figure. So he's been on the list for a long time to get that comic book version of Cable. I like this one a lot more than the Zazu Build-A-Figure Wave version, the Marvel vs. Capcom one. So I like this figure a lot. I would like the guns to be a little bit easier to put in the hands. I think the hands had a lot of issues with the guns, so it does drop down a little bit, but I mean, look at these photos. I had a lot of fun with Cable. Number 17 is the Battle Damage Spider-Man from the Magic the Gathering whatever wave that was. I still don't fully understand what is going on with that. I like this. I like the battle damage. I like the way they've done it, the beat up face. Maybe some battle damage on the hands would have been fun as well, but I like what they've done with this. The articulation on it is pretty well done. It's not quite there on the level of the Maximum Spider-Man. I think the neck articulation is probably one of the main differences, but it's a great Spider-Man. It looks fantastic, and I will be using that in a lot of figure photography in the future. He will not replace Broke Corbin as my figure photography victim, though. Number 16 is the War Machine from the 2-pack with Omega Red. I thought I'd be way more into the Omega Red figure, but honestly, I love this War Machine. I love that like bluish steel that they've got on it. The different cannon on the side. It even came with a little effect piece on a stand, which you don't get to see very often. I would have liked some more, again, with all of these Gamerverse ones, a few extra bits and pieces, hands, stuff like that. Maybe an unmasked head, but again, this is a Gamerverse world, so we don't need to see his head. I was just surprised at how much fun this figure was to fuck around with and pose. Number 15 is Lady Electro, as I like to call her. This is an interesting one, because when I saw this get announced, very similar to... what's her name? The Halloween one, Hallows Eve. I don't know the character. I saw the reveal, and I was like, oh, I like that. I think I will get that one. And then I just went out of my way to go and get it early days. She's stuck around on the shelves, which is, fortunate/unfortunate. But I love the fact that it's just a ladyfied version of Electro. I like to give her the yellow effect pieces from the Jamie Foxx version as well. Just that color scheme of the green, gold, black, just really, really pops. The mask pops. The face underneath is great. Just a really toyetic character done pretty well. I mean, you could add a bit of extra articulation, but for posing her on a flight stand, going full electric, whatever, you're fine. Number 14 is the She-Hulk figure in the Fantastic Four wave. Love this. It's so well made. I love the toxic green, how it mixes with the blue and the white. I think it just looks great. I love the extra head that they've given us with this one, with the ponytail, which I'm pretty sure is articulated from memory. And the weights that we got with it as well. They were a great extra piece in the extra hands. In terms of getting an additional figure with extra bits, I feel like this is a really good way to get the most out of the She-Hulk figure that we already got, last year. Number 13 is the X-Men retro card Mystique. This is probably more of a, a sentimental bias kind of choice. It is a very well-made figure, though. All the issues with the old Mystiques really appear to be finished up and stamped out with this one. Got double-jointed arms on it, so you can get her, wielding the guns in a little bit of a better way. I just love the way that the white pops with the blue skin on there and the face and everything like that. Mystique is just such a iconic and distinctive character. I needed her on my shelf, and the cel-shaded version was not getting it done. This one gets it done. Number 12 is the Ultimate Miles Morales from the comic book wave. I really like this figure. I love the smaller stature of it. I kind of feel like Miles should be smaller than Peter Parker. I don't know how tall he is supposed to be or how old he's supposed to be at the time, but the two of them side by side, Miles and, you know, choose your own adventure Peter Parker, I think it looks great, and it really makes it feel like a different character and not just a color palette swapped Spider-Man. And on top of that, he's got all the bells and whistles with articulation. So shout out to Ultimate Miles Morales. Number 11 is Marrow. Another sentimental pick here. This is a villain of mine that I love because I hated them in the X-Men Legends game. That Marrow boss fight was very, very annoying. Let's just leave it at that. But this figure, for the fairly limited articulation it has other articulation that kind of makes up for that. And you can get Marrow in some pretty impressive poses that look like very, very sort of dynamic. And the bone features that they gave her, the bone accessories and all that, I just think they all look fantastic. And the outfit that she's in, that blue and green, love it. Alright, we're in the top 10 now. At number 10 is the X-Men 97 wave Jubilee. This was my favorite from that wave. I think it looks fantastic. The yellow in the coat is very, very shiny, which again makes it look like a raincoat. But all the extra features that we got with it, the drink cup that she has, and all the extra bits just really made that figure look good. And the head sculpt is really the highlight for me. It really captures that cartoonish nature of the X-Men 97 wave, and probably captures it more than any of the other figures have, because Jubilee is a very cartoonish looking character, and they did her justice. Number 9 is Maximum Deadpool, and I mean, I'm surprised that I didn't end up having this further down the list, to be completely honest. I don't know if I've done the review of that or not. I don't think I have. The arms on mine are terrible. They're absolutely terrible. You almost are ripping the arms off when you move them. They are not connected properly. They don't look snug. And again, they just feel very gummy and bendable. And I think the issue is, like, he's got the straps around his shoulders and it interferes with the butterfly joints. But with any other figure, if you move it by the forearm, you're okay. With this one, if you try to move it by the forearm, you're almost ripping everything below the bicep off entirely. On top of that, I thought there was a lack of an extra head in that one in particular, and I don't know why he needed to come with so many two-handed guns for this particular figure. I just thought it was a bizarre choice what they ended up choosing to put in it. And most of the articulation on the figure is pretty good, but it all is kind of undone by the horrible arms that they put on this thing. So that was a bit of a fail, and I don't know if it should really even be this high up on the list, but I don't know, I was not impressed with Maximum Deadpool. With that being said, you can certainly get some good figure photography out of it, and there were a lot of accessories that came in it as well, and some interesting hands, and dupe was in there. Number 8 is the Black Cat figure from the PS5 Spider-Man game. Love it. Very rare that we get something, and I consider that to be more of an MCU type figure than a comic book figure, just because they're trying to match the dimensions of the video game, which were very true to life. So it certainly resembles more of an MCU character, and if that was an MCU character, it would be hands down the best MCU figure we've seen, especially with a female character. So I love the way it turned out. She looks hot. She's got cool accessories, extra articulation, and yeah, a very pleasant surprise to get that character executed so well. Number 7 is the Venom Gamerverse figure. This is that blue one with the green stuff dripping off the tongue. I didn't think I was going to like this figure at all. I thought I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. Looks different. Put it in the fucking bucket. But this might be my favorite Venom. I'm not sure what the difference is with the body, but this is so much better than the retro card one that came out like last year. I did not like that figure at all. And this one, it just feels almost perfect. It is a bit of a shame that it's blue and not black, because it is the perfect Venom articulation. But I'm the kind of person that I like to get color on my shelves. I like to have you know, lighter colors as well as like darker colors. So he kind of fits in with the whole aesthetic that I like to go with. And it was a very pleasant surprise that that ended up being a figure that I was just so into. I love the half Eddie Brock head. Great job. Number 6 is the Archangel Deluxe figure. This is the X-Force version. I really enjoyed it. I really like this figure. I had him on a really nice stand for a while on a shelf. If you can get him balanced and airborne with those wings, then he just looks fantastic. But I liked how much progress they've made with having these wings, making them you know, stable, making them articulated and not a liability on the figure like some have been in the past. And they just nailed it. And I love the character of Archangel as well. I mean, this is the X-Force version. I really like the villain version more than anything else. But I don't know, I just love having variety in my figures and variety on my shelves. Archangel is top of the list for that. Top 5 time. Number 5 is the Juggernaut, bitch. Yes, of course he's going to be in the top 5. This figure is nuts. This is absolute bedlam. Actually, I've got a bunch of these behind me on the shelf back there. Right, back there he is. Big boy. Looks great. I love the extra, I guess it's extra articulation that he's got. Not really. The other one had the butterfly joints as well, I think. But for such a weird, arm-heavy figure, they certainly managed to get him balanced in a way that he was very poseable. Better, like, that's the Hulk figures have the same issue with, like, wobbling and stuff like that, but they managed to just scale that issue out of this Juggernaut figure by making him fucking gigantic. I can't see myself buying another Juggernaut figure for a long, long time, and I hope I don't regret saying that on camera. Number 4 is Maximum Spider-Man. I really, really enjoyed all the extra bits that we got with this figure. There's a slight bit of extra articulation in it, which is great, but Spider-Man already has a ton of it as it is, so I mean, it's good, and I like to fuck around with that Maximum series figure, but I wouldn't say it jumps off the page as some sort of amazing Spider-Man. But all the extra pieces that we got, the flying web effects, the ones coming out of the wrist, all those extra bits, I feel like that was a good indicator as to what we're going to see in these Maximum figures. With that being said, this is ranked higher than the Deadpool and Hulk one, so take that for what it's worth. But of all these Maximum Edition figures that we got, the Spider-Man one I think is the one they did the best effort with in terms of adding extra things that made sense. So, loved it, and that's why it's at the number 4 spot. But, number 3, Captain America from the Gamerverse. Love it. Absolutely love it. I have no allegiance to America, nor Captain America for that matter. But I love him as a character. I just think he, obviously he's got his whole, like, you know, code and he's very moral and blah, blah, blah. But the important shit, the aesthetic. Love the attire. Love the outfit, the blue with the star. I love the concept of the shield being his weapon. I feel like it's so versatile. I just think he looks like a superhero. He is the superhero in many ways. And America has nothing to do with it. I just love what this character looks like. And the Gamerverse one, I mean, he's all pinless. He's got butterfly joints. He's got a hinge neck. He's got a effect piece for his shield. I don't know what else I need to put for this thing. Like, he is just the perfect Captain America. I mean, I'm sure they'll release more versions, maybe with the scales or whatever like that, but I think I'm good with Captain America's. I think I've got my forever Cap. Number 2 is the Wolverine from the Gamerverse line. This was the one that was a little bit controversial because it was scaled up, but that's exactly why it's got the number 2 spot on my list, because it scales with everything. It scales with WWE figures, it scales with DC McFarlane figures, and it scales with most Marvel Legends as well. I mean, it doesn't look completely ridiculous, and he's usually crouched down. Not only that, the authenticity and how accurately they depict the Capcom video game and the posing and everything like that without giving us fucking cell shading, I think it just turned out really, really good. Even with the single jointed arms, I feel like it's got everything that you need it to have. I think it's probably very hard to make a Wolverine figure that's going to crack the top 5 in 2025, but they did something different with this. The over-exaggerated features with the cowl, the things on the boots and the claws and everything like that. It's such a visually, aesthetically interesting figure. It gets number 2, and if you don't like it, then jump in the lake. And before I reveal number 1, don't forget to subscribe, help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to quickly tell you my wish list for this year. So these are the figures that I really wanted to get and haven't got yet, or I'm playing the long game on them, or whatever. Daredevil was only just starting to hit shelves now. I'll probably pick him up. But I'm really keen to get Feral from the comic book wave. I think she's going to peg warm, so I'm going to play a bit of a long game on her. The Puerto Rican flag Miles Morales, I just love the way that attire looks, and very keen to get that at a cheap price as well. I want Deathbird, I don't want the Gladiator guy, I just want Deathbird because I have the Lilandra and I just like the idea of posing Lilandra and Deathbird side by side. So I'll try and get Deathbird as soon as I see it in retail, I'll probably pick it up. And there is a Crossbones 2-pack. I got really into the Midnight Suns video game a couple of years ago, so did my partner. So we've got like a bit of a rule of like we can add Midnight Suns characters to our collection, or characters from the game, which includes Crossbones, because he's one of the villains that you fight. I will play the long game on that as well, but it looks like a great set. I hope I don't miss out. My number 1 Marvel Legends figure of 2025, you know exactly who it is. It's Psylocke. In fact, win yourself a Psylocke. Win a Psylocke. Where it is. It's right there. Win yourself a Psylocke. Subscribe, leave a comment, use the hashtag GimmePsyLocke, and when I hit 1,000 subscribers, you might win this shit. But this figure's a game changer, like the new dimensions on it, not trying to be a perv or anything like that, but they really added a lot of curvature to this figure around the buttocks, which is obviously a fairly distinctive feature of the Psylocke character, and we're all better off for it. Head scans that came with it were great. The only thing that really held it back was you can't really get her head looking up because they've got that horrible, heavy hair. Can Marvel Legends not just change the hair to something that's a little bit squishy? Have they tried that before and it didn't work out? Does all the hair need to be like completely rigid and unmoving? But other than that, I think they absolutely nailed it. I can't imagine, again, needing another Psylocke figure of any kind. I really am happy with this one here. I do wish there was a better head. Maybe I could be coaxed into getting another Psylocke if they give us a better head in it, which I'm sure they probably will. But she turned out great. The hands, the articulation, all of it. It was such a thrill to get this one very early, before the States. I don't know why, it just showed up in retail in Australia pretty fucking quick. And yeah, I got to do my review very, very early, and that's why most of you are probably here. So it's a bit of a full circle moment that this video is going to end talking about Psylocke, which is probably where my journey with you began. So to recap the final 5, Juggernaut is number 5, Maximum Spidey is number 4, Captain America Gamerverse is number 3, Wolverine Gamerverse is number 2, and Psylocke is number 1. And before I go, a little bit of an announcement. I'm planning on doing a series of videos revolving around a couple of these shelves behind me. Look at this beautiful, glorious space of empty shelves. I want ideas from you on what I should fill that space with. I've put a whole bunch of ideas on a list that I'm going to put into a wheel, and I'm going to spin the wheel, and that's going to tell me what I should put on the list. I have spun it for the first videos, and the topics that I got, big versus small, and my teenage years. So I'm going to do 2 videos decking out those 2 top shelves there, or one of them. I'm still figuring out all the details. One of them is going to be themed around big versus small. The other's going to be themed around my teenage years, which is like 96, 98 through to like 2005 or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. There will be wrestling on there, for sure. So that'll be coming up in the new year. Thank you for watching this video. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your figs, ta-ta, and farewell.